Hello, everyone, and welcome to the quick count on this fine Sunday afternoon. It is Justin, Fog, and Ty at it again for the quick count. And this episode, we don't have three counts. We're just going to go into some Smackdown results and the build up to Evolution. Guys, how is your Sunday going so far?
First day off, and then quite a few days for me. So it's been nice. 4th of July weekend was crazy at the butcher shop, and now I am off today. Got some stuff done. Gonna go out with the family later, but the wife knows I have the quick count on Sundays, so here we are.
How about you, Fog?
Oh man, yeah, it's been wild. I feel like every weekend is a holiday now, so whatever. We're here. That's all that matters. Let's talk about the Smackdown. And I'm going to correct you. You said the build to Evolution. What build?
Yeah, I mean, let's go into it. I mean, it's me and Justin. I think I said to Justin on Thursday that it's barely piecing together at this point. Yeah. We have a few more matches coming up, but it's on the next weekend, right?
Yeah,
it's the 12th.
We have a big weekend coming up. We have All In, we have Evolution, we have Great American Bash. And then the weekend after that, you and I are going to Slammiversary.
It's crazy.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we got a fun-filled weekends coming up. But let's talk Evolution a little bit. I mean, we saw on Friday on SmackDown. It was pre-taped. I was itching to talk about it on Thursday, but we did not spoil. We have our first introduction to the team that will be the SmackDown team for the Women's Tag Team Championship match, where it's going to be Roxelle, Jesus, that should be their name, I guess. Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez.
Dang, that's a good name. It's a good team
name. I mumbled them together in one big word.
You better trademark that fast.
Yeah, I'll get that WWE pay from if you want it, at least $1 million. But yeah, I mean, we kind of knew that Charlotte and Alexa were going to get this tag team push, and we're here now. It's just in a weird way. We got the pat on the head from Charlotte to Alexa as a tag, which was an okay moment, but I don't understand why they're trying to force them together. I get you got two of the top stars from the last decade or so in the women's division back on the roster on SmackDown. They're not in the main event scene, and I guess they want titles on these women, but I don't like it. I just their chemistry is fine, but it's just weird how they're pairing them up together. And I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm not a fan right now.
It's weird. For me, it's weird. Ever since Alexa returned, she's just been trying to do this thing with Charlotte. Meanwhile, we have discussed, we have thought that she was going to be with the Wyatt Six. I guess they're slow burning that, but I guess we're going to wait for Charlotte to do Alexa wrong again, and that's when we'll finally get Alexa breaking out into that psycho character with the Wyatt Six. But this just, for me, I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little rushed. And Ty, off air, we were talking. I think they might win that match at Evolution. It's a rushed tag team that's going to end up taking it away from other teams that deserve it.
And I think the Secret Harvest there too. That's an actual faction. That's an actual team. I know they probably wouldn't in that match, but I'm more of a fan of right now building. I mean, the Judgment Day has all the gold. I would rather them keep the gold. I want Roxanne and Raquel. I almost said it again. That trademark name, I guess I want to put on the side. But I want to see them work their magic. I want to see them as a tag team. I want to see their chemistry, because I would love that to flourish for a returning Liv, who is then jealous of what's happening, to get replaced. And I hope they go the route of maybe Charlotte and Alexa have, miscommunication during this match at Evolution instead, but I'm just very afraid of where this is leading.
I'd say two things. So the first thing, I agree. I think the titles need to stay with the Judgment Day, because there's just such a big story there for when Liv returns. And I also think this is now Liv created a big shadow while she was there, where if you were next to her, you just were like a lackey. You just weren't going to shine somehow, just however she got over like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like being next to a Rhea Ripley or a Becky in a tag team. You're just not going to really stand out. And so this is that opportunity for Raquel. All eyes are on new people. I'm not saying Roxanne is this big star. I know a lot of people have this, they wish she wins everything right now. It's like some weird obsession with new people winning world titles right away. But I think this is Raquel. I said it before. I think this is Raquel's time to shine, and I think this is finally the opportunity with Liv Morgan away for a little bit and with Tag Gold, with someone who's new and not quite as well known. This is that opportunity for Raquel to display a personality, because you cannot display a personality when you have like one of the top stars, you know, like Liv Morgan. On the other hand, Alexa Charlotte, this goes back to the problem with the current era of WWE that I've been talking about for like 3 years now, that everything is way too slow. And I know the little angry trolls with 32 followers on the internet are going to be like, oh, you guys don't have any patience. And it's like, dude, shut up. If someone owes you money, you want it now, not in 4 years. But anyway, so I think that's the issue we're running into, is they're taking so long with a lot of these stories. And just like, I don't know, when does it pay off? What does it turn into? I don't know. And at a point, I don't care because it took too long to get me interested. But I hope they keep the titles off of Alexa and Charlotte, because if, again, I've said this before, if there is a bigger story there, especially for Alexa, don't bring the titles involved. That's such a formulaic thing that WWE does, especially in the women's division. If there is a story coming up, they're like, let's put the tag titles on them and then let's have a betrayal. And we just had that happen like 2 times. We just had it happen with Becky and Lyra. Like, we don't need that again. Like, we can't just keep doing this with the women's division, just redoing the same story over and over. At least that's my opinion. We just had it happen like 2 months ago.
Yeah, and you bring up Raquel and like not being able to really show the personality next to Liv. The unfortunate thing with Liv's injury, which I believe I brought up Thursday, was it did seem before the injury we were gonna get some Raquel dialogue where she was kind of conflicted with Roxanne and Liv, and it seemed like there was going to be that ultimate turn. But now with the unfortunate injury to Liv, that's kind of on the back burner. So in a way, yes, it helps Raquel, because now it's Raquel's time to really show what she can do, especially being now the person that's been in the Judgment Day the longest. So she has to now lead. But I think the injury really hurt, because I do think we were going to get some dialogue with Raquel Rodriguez and her having to choose between Liv Morgan and Roxanne.
Yeah, and Raquel has a personality. She's funny. She's smart. She's like, if you watch, I bring this up a lot too, and I do this because you get to see the person, the Celtic Warrior workouts. She did a session with Sheamus, and she's funny. She's smart. She's lively. She's like seems like a very fun person. It just seems like in the WWE realm, they just don't know how they want her to be. And as this heel, I'm not saying it's not working. I'm just saying they got to give her a little personality. Like, give her some room to speak. She doesn't talk. And it's like, from what I could tell, that's kind of the opposite of who she is. And that, in my opinion, is why a lot of these wrestlers don't go over quite well. I'll say the big reason today is the music sucks. Whoever's making the music is terrible. But like, the other thing is when they don't give, like Lyra, it took her like 2 months. It took like 2 months for them to give her a microphone. Like, what, you're killing this person. If it wasn't for how amazing she was in the ring, you could have just considered her gone. But she got herself over. And then they're like, okay, now we'll let you speak in a feud. Like, that's not the way to do it. But, that was kind of my fear with Raquel. And I'm thinking we're going to come out of that here soon. I hope anyway.
Yeah, and I just think that we're not going to be, tarnished from having that moment for Raquel, especially against Liv. I think that's where they should obviously lead to when Liv comes back. And I think it'll really pay off. I think it'll be amazing, especially with this, this use of Roxanne in there as the thorn in her side. That's been the thorn in her side since Finn brought her along. So I am excited for that. But I do want to get back to more Evolution stuff.
Yeah.
I'm kind of concerned, like, we had a taste of Liv versus Nikki Bella. Now we haven't heard anything with the Bellas since then. At least I haven't seen anything or heard anything. Now we have Trish Stratus in the mix for the, WWE Women's Championship against Tiffany Stratton. Like, are the Bellas out and Trish is in? Or do we still have, the Bellas maybe finding their way to weasel in? I don't know, because I would have thought it would have been Raquel and Roxanne versus the Bellas to kind of like take over that missing piece of the Bellas. But now that we got this fatal 4-way tag match, how do they even fit into this in this PLE?
We have two tag teams right now, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Roxelle and Alexa
Charlotte
Bliss
and Alexa.
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
So do we
Alexa.
Yeah. Flexa. I got nothing. Yeah. Do we have like a tease for the other two teams? Do we think it's the Bellas or
No, because it's Raw and it's a Raw and an NXT team.
Mm-hmm.
So we need Raw. We have Raw, right? You got Raquel and Roxanne.
No, but so they're defending against a Raw team, a SmackDown team, and
I must have missed that. They're doing another Raw team.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
but
that was dumb.
I want to say two things.
Yeah.
We talk about not having any build, right?
Yeah.
Build up to a match. Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton is the perfect example. Like, yeah, they teamed up once in Toronto, so now
bring Trish Stratus back and do this in 2 weeks.
So now that's the match for 2 weeks later. Like, there's no build, and now it's just a face Tiffany versus a face Trish. To me, it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. But as far as Nikki, someone came out. I don't know if Fogg, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like maybe Corey or someone else that I don't even know. But someone did say that Nikki was backstage the night that Liv got hurt because she was supposed to run in and interfere. But now, you're right. Where do they fit in? I don't know if it's going to be that battle royal.
Probably.
I unfortunately, I know. Also, I think Corey said that this is going to be like she's here. She's not just here for Evolution. So this is like a little mini run for Nikki Bella. So now you have to think even SummerSlam, which is a month away. Where's Nikki going to fit on this 2-night SummerSlam card? Where Ty, you and I discussed, they have a lot of work to do to build up 2 nights of SummerSlam. So I guess they're still possibly maybe in the Battle Royal, we'll see Nikki and someone have like a moment, and that'll build towards SummerSlam. But there's no way you can keep Nikki off this Evolution card. There's just no way.
I think that kind of summarizes the big gripe in a sense where there's no build and you have just, I'll be honest, if you really look at the card, it goes to show you how dominant the women's division is. Like, there's big names in every match, essentially. Whereas the main cards these days, like especially the men's side of things, there's not a lot of big men's names. And there's not really a lot of exciting men on the WWE roster that get utilized as much. And we can talk about that another time. But like Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton, assuming like for a quick 2 weeks notice, put the belt on Trish. If you're going to do this pass the torch moment, you should have given it a build. Like, what's the point of this match? And how are you going to convince me in a week and a half that it, like, Trish Stratus should be in it if she's not going to win? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying she needs to win the match. It's just like, it's just like a really sour grapes kind of match. But, if you look at the card, Jade Cargill versus Naomi, that's a big match. Becky, Bayley, Lyra, big match. Mm-hmm. The tag match is going to be huge. You got Alexa and Charlotte alone is just enough. Like, you could stop there. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. And then I think JC Jane versus Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace, yep.
That's a big match, with Jordan Grace in there. So these are big matches. But then it's like, but I guess the sour part about it is you're going to have all the other surprise people and returning people just thrown into this battle royal, which none of that, when you put them in there, it's like, no one wants them to win. Once Julia and Stephanie Vaquer are in there and then a Bella shows up, you think anyone's thinking, give it to Nikki Bella? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that sour grapes thing where, great, bring them back, but we're not doing anything with them like big yet. So I don't know. It's like my big gripe with Evolution, the card looks fantastic. My big gripe is it just feels really thrown together, really not the matches per se thrown together, just not enough build. Like they just feel okay. 2 weeks we're gonna put on this big all women show, and maybe it's our fault. Maybe it's because we announced it 3 months ago before WWE did. I don't know. Maybe it's Corey and the Masked Jay and Viper, or actually I think it was Cody Rhodes. Maybe
Yeah,
one
it
of
was
them.
Cody or
I think
Corey.
it was
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes. Maybe it's his fault. I don't know.
God damn it.
Yeah, but
you get my point. Like we could like treat this like what this should be a huge historic event, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Look at those matches. But damn it, you gotta care. You gotta.
Yeah, and I think the matches are gonna slap. I think they're gonna be all freaking amazing. But
look at that card.
Look at the card and like how many matches actually have a story behind them besides like, and then look at the matches that were like, oh, Rhea vs Io, that was Monday. We're just gonna hash it out. Great, cool. This tag team match, we're gonna have a bunch of people, win some matches, then you qualify. Same thing with Jordan Grace. It wasn't like a full on feud. It was, do you qualify to fight for this championship? Great, now you're fighting for it, which is great. Like the matches are going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
But when you see Naomi and Jade, that's got life, that's got story, that's got drive. Like that's exciting. Like that could go either way. When you have Becky, Bayley, and Lyra, that's got story. That's been brewing since WrestleMania. Like that's got life to it. But when you have a Tiffany versus Trish, like there's no way Trish wins. Maybe they shock the world. It's like, oh, Trish is gonna win the title for a little bit. I doubt it. But I want more unclarity. I want to be guessing who's gonna be winning these matches. I don't want to be like, oh, this is a shoo-in for this person. I want that unknown to be there because of the story and because of the star power of the people in these matches.
Yeah, and you're right. Truthfully, the only matches that really have a strong build, you just mentioned them. You had Jade and Naomi, which has been going for months, which is going to be awesome. You have the triple threat, Lyra, Bayley, Becky. You can argue that JC Jane and Jordan Grace a little bit over the past 3 weeks, but that really, I watch NXT weekly. It hasn't been much, truthfully. So the fact that I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. This Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton match is giving me Goldberg Gunther vibes to the point these legends are coming in. Truthfully, they haven't earned their title shot.
So it's just like a phone in. Hey, we're gonna throw this match away.
But for me, they haven't earned the title shot. So now all of a sudden they get this title shot. It's like, this doesn't make sense to me unless you're going to go for that true shock factor where they win. I don't know.
This has been my gripe, and like I said, I get a lot of heat, so I kind of just dial back. Not because I don't like heat. I really don't care. But just the sit down and shut up mentality is not good, because that's what gives you this garbage product over and over. It's not one time. If we look backwards, we could just name millions of events that are like, these don't make any sense. And so if Goldberg comes in and he beats Gunther, you're saying none of our current era of rosters are good enough compared to someone who is retired. Like Stone Cold comes back. Like, didn't he beat Kevin Owens at WrestleMania?
No, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
No, yeah, he did. He did beat KO.
Because no one's on those guys' level, and you never will be. That's what we're being told if Gunther wins, or if Goldberg wins. If Gunther wins, then it's like, well, why was Goldberg even in that match for a title? It should not have been for a title, because he didn't earn a title shot. So this is what I'm saying, is they keep doing these catch-22 matches. The same thing with Trish Stratus. If she beats Tiffany Stratton, it's the legends, the women legends are far superior than the current roster. And that is not true. I could say yes to the men's. The men's roster on NXT and on the main roster is, for the most part, not good. You got like 5 top guys that are in their age prime. I'm not talking about the Cenas and Punks who should be putting the younger guys over but are not. I'm talking about, you're not slotting Drew and Seth. Now Seth, yes. And Breaker and hopefully eventually Obafemi when he gets to the main. You're not slotting a lot of these people in these slots. You're putting other talent that are just not over in them, or just like Gunther's your only option for world heavy. It's like ridiculous. Anyway, I don't want to go on about that because it makes me mad. But it's just like, if Trish wins, then what does that say about Tiffany Stratton? She's your champion. And then if Trish loses, why was she in that match for the title anyway? So, I guess this is why people just watch it and they go, "Oh, just shut up and enjoy it." I can't. I have questions.
Yeah.
So.
And like you could call us smart fans, but like that's what I want. Like when I watch this series, this TV drama, I want story. I want something to look forward to. Like Naomi and Jay, like this excites me. You know, it could be like the worst two wrestlers in the world, but if the story makes sense and it's been brewing for a while, like screw it. Like I'm excited. Like it gives you that big fight feel. But then when you throw these things together, it's just like here's just another match, and that's what you know AEW does is they throw together matches on a random Wednesday and Friday here and there. But the one thing that they do is the person could drop the title after a week of holding it, so you don't even know who's going to come out a champion, even if they throw a match together.
WWE's doing something similar like that now too, where they're passing titles to people, and you can tell that person's just holding that title for some other reason. Like JC Jane, maybe they prove me wrong. I don't think has she defended that belt more than once?
No,
she doesn't. I think
she's holding that title.
Her first
for
defense
someone.
is Great American Bash,
and she's probably losing it to Jordan Grace.
Probably. I don't know. I always expected it was going to be Blake Monroe.
Yeah, don't say her good name.
Her
Shut
good
up
name,
and
yeah.
enjoy the show. It's Blake Monroe. Maybe and maybe that's what they're doing. They're just going to give her a title win on a PLE or whatever, and then have Blake Monroe win it. But with Jey Uso, all this build, all this work, one of the most over guys, and then they pass it back to Gunther, who has beaten everyone already. It never worked. The have him beat everyone never got him over. So why are we passing it back to him? Because now we got to put Goldberg in a title match. Why do we have to put whatever. So they're doing that a lot. They're doing it with they did it with the tag titles. It's like, oh, look at this team that just won. And it's like, they're just holding it because the next team it's like they're going to throw it to a babyface team because the team that's a heel that's about to win it is right there. And so we're just going to toss it to the babyface team for 2 weeks. So they're doing a lot of that hot potato title stuff now too. The only title that's like truly protected from that, I guess, is the WWE Championship. Yeah. That's the only belt that they really put the effort into kind of maintaining its prestige. Whether you like Cena's awful heel turn story or not, they protect that belt. No other belt. I mean, look what they've done with the U.S. title. Cool. Jacob Fatu, or actually Solo has it now. Mm-hmm. But like, LA Knight lost clean to Shinsuke Nakamura. Do you remember that? I know you guys.
Still breaks my brain about that one.
I'm sorry to bring up such trauma. And then he wins it back to lose it to Jacob Fatu, to lose it to Solo. Like, we're just getting these weird, short garbage runs. But I know I'm off topic. We wanted to talk more Evolution and SmackDown.
Yeah, I do want to get into SmackDown because I got some of my own gripes I want to get off my chest.
Yeah, because that show sucks. So let's get to it. SmackDown's the worst. And people are like, oh, keep it at 3 hours. Like, no, go to 1 hour, no commercials, get it over with. For the love of God.
Just go ahead. Behind the shed.
Go off on SmackDown.
No, but so for me, we spoke very highly of the SmackDown tag division on this podcast, but we're in a position right now where I'm just my brain is also breaking in ways that I don't understand the route they're going. We already have a stacked SmackDown division. Yeah. And then when they throw together Rey Fenix, Andrade, which fucking phenomenal. Sorry, I don't know if it's the 10-minute mark, 20-minute mark, but phenomenal. I love them together, but it doesn't make sense with the current tag team because now they're taking out the likes of this past week, Fraxium. Mm-hmm. So now these two guys that have never tagged together getting thrown together are taking out the best tag team SmackDown has to offer, which is AKA the best tag teams in the WWE right now. And also, we have the Wyatt Six taking out one of each member of that tag division in an 8-man tag match. So now, the division that was so spectacular now has the Wyatt Six infringing on it and a thrown together tag team, and it makes me irate.
Yeah.
Does anyone know why Birdo was in that match?
Well, because Fraxium, since they're one of the the kings of the SmackDown Tag Division because they had a tag match already against Andrade and Rey Fenix. So now Los Garza,
They have the
their
triple
Triple
A
A tag team champions. Now they're kind of like in that level too.
But
that's right.
They
that's right.
Lost to the Wyatt Six. So now the Wyatt Six now think that they want what is theirs, which is the tag team titles apparently. And so I don't know. Andrade and Rey Fenix, don't get me wrong, Ty, you and I spoke how great they were together. You even questioned if they've teamed before because their chemistry was that awesome. But now you're stalling the Lucha Brothers getting back together. I know you have Penta dealing with his own thing with Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins' own little group. But you're right. Like this tag team that just got thrown together is now defeating everyone. And now
it was DIY 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
it was DIY they beat, and then they just beat Fraxium. So
and they just had the promo. They had a backstage little promo on WWE socials of them speaking, saying, if you guys want to see more of this, let us know, and we will come for those WWE Tag Team Championships.
That's been a WWE, another formulaic thing that they've done forever that a lot of people have had problems with, where you have established tag teams and then you have the thrown together, and the thrown together always end up on top. And like, especially in the women's division, they hate women's tag teams, like actual tag teams. They just don't like them. They want a thrown together team always. And like in the case of Andrade and Rey Fenix, like you said, to defeat Fraxium and DIY, these like top tag teams of all time. It's just another weird thing that WWE does, that you're just supposed to sit down, shut up, and enjoy it. And I just hope there's a payoff, and I would imagine that payoff comes at the time where Penta and Rey Fenix are eventually on the same roster, which they will be at some point. And then I would imagine that follows, or what comes next is an Andrade heel turn on Rey Fenix to set up maybe some type of a feud. But then it's like, well, then do you take Rey Fenix out for months or like a month, and give like Penta and Andrade like a mini feud for like a month or two, and then have Rey Fenix come back? Or does Andrade get a tag team partner? I would imagine the former. But yeah, it's never a good look to just sacrifice your top tag teams for a thrown together team. But it goes to show you how much the tag team is just not a priority for WWE. There's no reason to build anybody through them. It's just there to be there, essentially.
And we talk about thrown together tag teams, and you bring up the women's division, like Charlotte and Alexa, prime example. They are going to be in this match at Evolution now, but at least Charlotte and Alexa are Charlotte and Alexa, they've been top of the card in WWE women's division for years and years. Rey Fenix has been here for a cup of coffee, and Andrade is on his second run here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like it's Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns back together,
or like Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, if they just were having a quick Monday Night Raw feud with one of their tag teams, absolutely they should win because they are top guys. I fully agree with that. It was like you'd see that with, I think Drew McIntyre's run had a couple of those types of matches where it was like, okay, that makes sense because these are your top guys. But yeah, Rey Fenix for a cup of coffee, that's awesome. Yeah, I agree.
And and I kind of want to like maybe pivot to Drew a little bit. Like, we've been waiting for Drew to get his moment. I mean, not the moment he had at WrestleMania 40 where he got pinned in 5 minutes after winning the belt, but the man has been like the workhorse of this company and has drawn eyes to this company. And he's still just like sitting on the back burner a little bit. He has a match against Randy at Saturday Night's Main Event, which is great. I'm excited for that. It just was also kind of just thrown together. And he mentioned to Cody that he hopes Cody wins because he's gunning for it. And if that's the case, if we get a Cody-Drew feud and Drew takes the belt off Cody, I'm fine with that. The man deserves his respect, especially for what he's done for this company for the last few years.
I'm not gonna say a lot because like Drew's my guy, and it really does suck watching him lose to guys like Damian Priest. Nothing against him, but that's like you really can't. Drew's top. He's a top guy, and he's a jobber in a sense, and yet still like everyone is like TV's so much better with Drew. I don't know what they're gonna do. I certainly hope very soon he does win the WWE Championship from a name like a Cody, and it's not just silly, and he gets a good run from it. I just feel like they should just give the guy some time off, but they need him because their shows suck, and he's actually like a light. He had the best feud by himself. Name one other feud that you can think of in history where it was a top feud and one guy drove with him and CM Punk. It was him alone for like 3 months, right? 3 to 6 months by himself. And it was the feud of the year. Drew had the feud of the year with himself. Anyway, so I don't know what their plans are. I've kind of given up trying to chase the dragon on what they're doing with some of these top guys. It just seems like when you get someone who's really like, hey, I want to see them win a world title or get in this better position, they just kind of go, nope. Here's Gunther or Damian Priest, or I don't know. They must be less expensive talent or something like that, and are trying to get you to like them better. You know, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about that, but we'll see.
I knew once Ty brought up Drew McIntyre, I saw Fox face and he's like, "Oh, I can go on for another
Going
10
in,
minutes,
baby.
But we're at the 31-minute mark."
Cutting that watermelon.
But you're right. Drew McIntyre, he deserves more than what he's been given. If he ends up losing to Randy, that's just another main event jobber spot. Like, he is the main event jobber at this point, unfortunately, and it sucks because he definitely deserves a lot more. But this is the quick count. We are at the 32-minute mark. Let's ring the bell because this podcast is over. Thank you all for joining us today on a beautiful sunny Sunday, at least where I am at 3:00 in the afternoon. Appreciate you guys hanging out. As you can see below on the ticker, please subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon for exclusive breaking news, interviews, podcasts, and more. It is well worth it. I see Fog just putting out tweets left and right. We have a news break at noon. We have a news break at 3. We have a news break at 8 a.m.
I'm like changing a diaper. Like, hold on, I got
it is incredible.
It's just coming out left and right.
The work that they're doing. Go subscribe to our YouTube, please. It helps. The Body Slam YouTube, Twitch, the Body Slam Twitch, our X accounts, everything helps. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you all on Thursday for the 10 count. Until then, it's Justin, Ty, and Fog, and we are out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and have a great week.